Hello, my name is Sally Pinto, and I'm the Program Director for the Yonkers Newark Neighborhood Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. We serve seniors 60 plus in Northeast Yonkers. We are under the auspices of WJCS and the Yonkers Office for the Aging. We also have a resource specialist and a nurse on staff. We conduct virtual programming in partnership with the Yonkers Public Library on a daily basis. Enjoy the program.
So yeah, we're paying attention in these times of change as the rhythms and seasons change, weather changes, light changes. We're paying attention to how that's affecting us and what we need to do to be at our best, to feel at our best. So mindfulness is key to these workouts that involve mobility, exercise, and meditation. Really, we're meditating all throughout, noticing what's going on in our body. And really today, I want you to pay special attention, just a good little sort of reflection to carry with you in any activity. How do you feel before the activity and how do you feel after? So we'll get up into a warm up in a minute or two, but I just want to start off with some slow breathing and a little personal body scan. So let's just sit tall. We want to be sitting towards the front of our chair, sitting up through our core, nice tall spine. Our core is engaged. We're sitting tall, shoulders back, hands resting gently on our thighs here. Feet flat on the ground. We're engaged, alert, but we're relaxed. And just start off here with some deep breathing to start our day off. So take a deep breath in through your nose, allowing your stomach to expand on the in-breath. So on the in-breath, we expand our stomach. Taking a deep breath in, then hold that breath for a moment. And with a calm exhale, release the breath and draw that stomach into the navel, into the spine, as you exhale. Taking a deep breath in through your nose, expanding your stomach on the in-breath. Holding the breath for a moment, gently exhaling out of your mouth. Breathing nice and deeply at your own pace. Just pay attention, notice how does your body feel at the start of this workout. A little scan from the toes up through the head. What feels good, what feels loose, what feels tight, a little cranky, unhappy, whatever you can notice. How are you feeling? Just a little touch base with yourself, little body scan, little emotional scan. As we breathe deeply in through the nose, hold that breath for a moment and exhale out of our mouth. We want to be breathing deeply and steadily throughout all of these exercises. And we just took a moment to touch base, gather ourselves, see how our body's feeling. Now let's get into our nice warm up. We're going to work from the top of the body down to the bottom. We'll start off with some shoulder, neck, and back warm up to release and open up the spine, the chest, the shoulders. Let's just start off with touching, just a little tap on our opposite shoulder. So right on top of the shoulder, moving at our own pace, just getting the movements going. Tapping on the opposite shoulder, right on top, wherever you could get to. If there's a flexibility issue and you can only get to here, then do that for now. Going at our own pace, increasing the range of motion as we can. Sitting tall, deep breathing, big smiles throughout. Let's switch. Let's try to touch our same side shoulder. So now we're touching the same side right on top of the shoulder. Going at our own pace, making the movement feel good. Now let's try reaching a little bit further onto the back if we can. Wherever we could get to, trying to get as much of the movement coming from our arms as possible. We're sitting upright, nice and tall. Good, and let's reach to the back on the opposite side. Now we're giving ourselves a little pat on the back, Patting ourselves on the back for getting going this morning with some great workout, exercise, meditation on our Wednesday morning. Good. Pause there for a second. Shake everything out. Deep breath, always gathering ourselves in between, reminding ourselves of that good posture. Now, what we're going to do is a little series that's going to open up our shoulders, our chest, and our thoracic spine. It's that middle spine in our back. What we're going to do is we're going to take our arms and we're going to touch our shoulders. We're going to leave that touch right there, right on top of our shoulders, and we're just going to do gentle circles. However big our circles can be, look like a little chicken wing or something, butterfly wings, whatever we want to call them. Gentle circles forward, as big as the circle can be. Does not need to be huge. What I mean is as big as you could go and it feels nice and smooth and easy. Maybe that's just a tight little circle to start. Good, let's go in the opposite direction. Slow as you need to go, reminding ourselves of good posture. Sitting upright, nice and tall. Taking a break if we need it. Now let's do butterfly wings. So now we're going to bring our elbows towards the front. Trying to keep those hands on top of that shoulder. Let's do 5 more here. At your own pace, trying to touch those elbows together if you can. And 1. Good. Shake that out. Getting loose always. That's getting the shoulder, the back, the core warmed up, getting everything nice and happy to get us into our workout. Let's go into that position once more, trying to touch our shoulders. And now we're going to keep a nice tall position. My arms will still be perpendicular to the floor, and we're going to extend our hands out. And we're going to do that for about 10 reps. Sitting nice and tall, keeping the elbows tall. Let's bring it towards the front. Same thing. Now from the front. Coming back, touching that shoulder gently. And then let the arms fall gently to the side. Good. That's a great warm up for the whole upper body, getting the neck moving. Everything's involved in those movements. That's what we like to do to get warmed up. Move into the lower half of our body now. We're going to do our nice hamstring stretch that turns into what's called sort of a world's greatest stretch. So we're going to kick our left leg out. Let me get back a touch. I'm going to kick our left leg out, heels flat on the floor, toe pointing up to the sky. It's going to get a nice gentle bend forward. My back's still flat, my chest is still up. I still have good posture. I'm feeling a nice stretch to the hamstring and the calf. And I'm going deeper into that stretch as I exhale and as I'm able, as I get warmed up. Breathing deeply and steadily. And on the exhale, we push a little further into the stretch. Good, and now let's take that right arm. Let's put that right arm up overhead. Still got good posture, looking directly up to my right arm. Feeling that stretch through the side, through the chest, through the shoulder. Still have the stretch down in the hamstring and the calf. Holding a good posture, breathing deeply. And inhale, let that arm fall gently to the side. And let's kick out our right heel now. Right heel flat on the floor, toe pointing up to the sky. Gentle bend over at our waist. Good posture still. Steady breathing throughout. Getting deeper into the stretch on the exhale. And then let's take that left arm, reach up overhead, good posture, stretch through the side, through the chest. Looking up directly at our hand, directly overhead, still have the stretch through the hamstring and the calf. Breathing calmly and deeply. And then gently exhale, let the arm fall to the side. Great. Moving a little bit further down the body to get into our ankle. We want to be sitting towards the front of our chair, feet flat on the floor. Good posture. We're going to lift our right leg up and we're going to start doing some gentle ankle circles. Good posture still throughout. Doing some gentle ankle circles with the right ankle. Reverse direction. Excellent. Do ups and downs if you can. Just getting the ankle warmed up, side to side. Good. And now still holding on here. Good core engagement. I want you to take the opposite hand. So I got my right leg up. Take the left hand. Reach out to the side. Still holding that leg in. Now, if you can, getting a little more difficult. If you can't get this, that's okay. Release the right arm. Still holding that knee nice and strong, core engaged, good posture, sitting upright. And then let that right leg fall gently to the ground on the exhale. Let's get that left leg up, holding that left leg in support, getting the ankle warmed up, some gentle ankle circles. Breathing steadily. Go in the opposite direction with those ankle circles. Let's do ups and downs, gas pedals. Let's go side to side with the ankle. Excellent. Now holding that there. Opposite arm, left leg's up, right arm, reach out to the side, maintaining good posture. This is a good static hold, teaching us a lot of strength and stability. If we can, let's release that left arm. Good posture, still holding that left leg in, trying to get to 10 seconds on a good hold here, holding nice and strong. And then with a gentle exhale, release, let the leg fall to the floor. Arms fall gently to the side. Excellent. That's our warm up. Hit all the major muscle groups. As I always say, if you need a warm up for another workout, some point around throughout the week, you feel tight, you're not feeling at your best, just running through that might be a good antidote. Movement is often a good antidote to any pains, tightness we're feeling. Just get moving for 5 or 10 minutes. It doesn't need to be a whole workout. Just doing that warm up might be enough. To loosen you up, get you feeling good again. But we're going to move into the meat of our workout here. We have 2 sets out of our chair exercises, 2 sets standing, variations on the exercises that I'll try to give you throughout. Key, guys, is mindfulness throughout, paying attention to how the movements feel, what they're doing to us, how they affect different parts of our body, and giving our best to these movements for 40 seconds of work. And we take a 20-second break, just about 2-to-1 work to rest ratio. That's what we like to get out of our class today. And then we'll finish off with a nice period of meditation at the end. So we have 5 exercises out of our seated. We're going to do a seated leg extension with twist. So we're going to extend our right leg, full extension, as we twist to the side. And then we're going to go to the left, twist to the right side, left leg extension. And then we'll just alternate that, 40 seconds, leg extension with twist, good squeeze in the quad, good upright posture as we twist, not slumping, not slouching. Next up, we're going to do our good morning yawn movement, but we're going to do it from a wide out squat. So we're going to get into a nice wide squat, feet are gripping the floor, legs, hips all engaged, and we're going to do our good morning yawn stretch. Reaching up overhead, reaching like a big morning yawn, getting everything loose. Guys, with this movement, I love to just pause at the moments that feel like I'm stretching, reach up high overhead. Take this movement at your own pace. We'll get into a nice flow with it as we go. Third movement is going to be flutter kicks, supporting our core with the chair here. We're going to do flutter kicks. I'll show you that from the side when we get there. Simple movement we've done many times. Fourth movement is going to be alternating overhead press. We're going to have both our hands overhead this time, and we're going to alternate overhead press, keeping both extended. So up, we're going to start extended up top and do the alternating overhead press from there. That's our fourth movement. Fifth movement is going to be heels to toes. Heels to toes. I'll show you what that looks like from the side when we get there. We got 40 seconds of work and 20 seconds of rest on each of these. Let's start off with a good twist with an opposite leg extension. We're going to go for 40 seconds, starting in 3, 2, 1. Leg extension, good squeeze in the quad. Reach to the left side, reach to the right. Good extension in the left quad. Nice steady flow with that. Good breathing. Good squeeze in the quad. Five more seconds here, everybody. And pause in 2, 1. Excellent first round, first set there of our first round. Next up is going to be a good morning yawn, or good morning yawn move with a good wide out squat. So let's first get into that wide out squat. So we're ready to go. Our palms are coming through the center of our body, coming in front of our face, reaching out up overhead, pushing out to the side. Nice circular flow on that. Push out, pull in, and then pause at any point you want. You want to stretch out up here. You want to stretch out on the side. Pause there, hold that for a second. Feel out the movement that it gets you feeling in a good way. Let's jump into that in 3, 2, 1. Remember the wide out squat part of this. Our legs are engaged, our glutes, our quads, our hips all engaged as we're performing this good movement. Palms come into the center, coming up across our face, reach out overhead. Good steady breathing throughout. Pause in 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Second exercise was our good morning yawn. Third is going to be our flutter kick. Just showing you this from the side, using my hands to support if I need them. I can pull my hands up as I feel stronger. Nice pivot point at my knees. Everything else is staying solid and stable. Nice flutter kick in the lower body. It's going to get the core involved. Definitely the breathing's going to pick up on this. Do your best for 40 seconds, always taking a break if you need it, if things are getting a little too intense. So let's get into a good position. We can support our hands if we want. Let's get into flutter kicks in 3, 2, 1. We can always pull those arms away if we need, as long as our core is engaged, supporting us. Working hard, guys. Another 10 here. We'll pause in 3, 2, 1. Excellent, guys. Third exercise coming up is our fourth. I'm facing towards the front again. We're going to do alternating overhead press. We're going to start this time with our arms up overhead. Bring one down and press. Bring the other down and press. That's going to be our movement. Good core stability throughout. Good steady breathing. Feet flat on the floor. Good posture. Let's get into it. Let's bring those arms up overhead. Alternating overhead press in 3, 2, 1. Excellent work out of there, everybody. Big smiles, deep breath throughout. Noticing how our whole body's feeling, how our whole body's working as a system. Working hard for 5, 2, 1. Excellent. Let those arms fall gently to the side. One more movement here for our first round. We're going to go heels to toes. So we're going to kick out, trying to get into as full of a plank as we can. Pull those toes in. Kick out, toes in. Okay, working that flow, going as far out and as close, as deep under you as you can, going to what feels comfortable. This is we can have a range of motion on this movement here. Let's try it out on this first set. Going together in 3, 2, 1. Heels to toes. Heels to toes. Another 10 here, everybody. Three, 2, 1. Excellent. Good first round of our seated exercises here. We're going to repeat that for another round in a minute or so. Good time always grab a drink of water, take some deep breaths. Always take a break when you need it if something's getting a little bit too intense. Shake things out, do some breathing meditation. I trust you to determine what the best workout is for you this morning. So again, we're going to have those twists with a leg extension. We got the good morning yawn with a wide out squat position. We have our flutter kicks, alternating overhead press, finishing off with heels to toes. Then we'll move on to our standing in a bit. We'll take a little extra breather here so we know we're ready for that second set. Good time to recharge. Notice what's going on in your body. Notice how your body's feeling. Think back to that first body scan we did, how you felt, what your body felt like. How's it feeling now? How different is that? Where is it different? Why is it different? These kinds of reflection are what we're about here in our meditation mobility class. So let's keep that reflection and that exercise going. We'll jump into our second round of seated exercises. We have a seated twist with a leg extension, good extension, full extension in the quad, good squeeze in the quad muscle, toes pointing up to the sky, postures remaining upright and alert, twisting to the side. Let's get into that together in 3, 2, 1. Extension, twist to the side, going the opposite way. Nice steady rhythm, nice form, nice posture, nice breathing for 40 seconds. Working hard for 10. Go in 3, 2, 1. Excellent. First set done. Next up is going to be good wide out squat. So make sure we lock in that posture. Hips engaged, glutes engaged, quads engaged, knees, ankles, all that nice and strong, nice and solid, giving us a good base to work this upper body move. Good morning yawns up top. We know the pattern, going at your own pace, pausing and exploring different parts of the movement as you feel interested and comfortable, and as that helps you to enjoy the movement a bit more. So let's jump into that in 3, 2, 1. Feel the circular flow of this movement, all the circles at our shoulder, at our elbow, at our wrist that are happening. Nice big circles. Working hard for 10. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Returning to center, shaking everything out, taking a deep breath. Next up is going to be our flutter kicks. Showing you just a different angle here. Again, if you need the support, we can use our arms to support ourselves. But as we feel more confident pulling those arms away, we'll challenge our core a little bit more. Movements all just coming from the lower body here. Everything else is staying nice and strong. We got 40 seconds of flutter kicks. Let's go together in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we can use that chair for support, or we can pull those arms away if we feel strong and confident. Working hard out there, everybody. This is a challenging set. Push hard through this for 10 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Great work out there. That's a tough exercise. Glad if you made it through it. If you only got 20 seconds, that's all you could get today. That's great as well. That's a challenging exercise. Next up is going to be our alternating overhead press. So we'll start off with the arms fully extend overhead. Just remember, you might think that we're emphasizing the pull down. We're really emphasizing the push up. So that's what we're doing. This is a press, not a pull. If we had a weight, we would be pressing the weight up, not pulling it down. So really imagine pressing it up, but we are going to keep both those arms extended overhead throughout. So let's jump into that in 3, 2, 1. Arms overhead, push up, and we're pushing up. Imagine driving that big heavy weight up overhead, getting the shoulders, the triceps, the arms involved. Good solid core, deep breathing, big smiles throughout. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. We got one more movement here, guys. After 20-second break, we got heels to toes. We're kicking out our heels, getting close to full extension if we can, pulling those toes back underneath. Heels to toes, 40 seconds on that. Good finisher to our seated exercises. Let's go together on that. Again, we can support ourselves if we need it in 3, 2, 1. Ten more seconds. Three, 2, 1. Excellent. That is our second round of seated exercises. Great start to a workout, about halfway through. of the full workout. We're going to transition into standing. So I'm going to adjust my camera for a moment. If you need to grab a drink of water, deep breaths, good time to do that. Okay, that seems good for our camera position. So now we are standing, 5 standing exercises over 2 rounds. As we know, we're always using that chair for support when we need it, stepping away from it as we feel confident, but we always know that's there if we need to grab it, take a break. We got 5 exercises. The first is going to be a kick over the chair. We're kicking nice and tall over the chair. Second movement will be that same good morning yawn, and we're going to do it out of a deep squat. So nice wide out squat. Good morning yawn. Third movement is going to be a squat hold. We're going to raise our arms up overhead. We're going to drop down to a squat, holding that for 40 seconds. I'll show you it from the side, different angles, just a squat hold. Instead of doing squat for reps, we're going to hold down in the bottom of that squat for 40 seconds. That'll be a nice challenge for us. Alternating overhead press again. Same thing as the seated one, standing nice and tall. And fifth movement is going to be sort of a yoga inspired movement, something of a Superman. So we're going to balance, use that chair for support. We're going to kick the left leg out. We're going to we're going to kick the right leg out, extend our opposite hand, the left hand overhead, coming over into a Superman flying position. As far bent over as we can makes it more challenging. But if we're just standing up here for 40 seconds, that's great as well. We'll do 40 seconds on one side. And then in the second set, we'll switch to the other side. I'll give you some guidance on what we're doing there. But those are our 5 exercises. More to come as I explained them at the start. Let's grab a quick drink of water before we jump into this. Excellent work so far, everybody. We're starting off with kicks. So get a nice flow with this, going over the top of the chair. If that's a little uncomfortable, you can always do a chair supported kick as well, using the chair for extra support if you need it. I'm going to do the kick over the top of the chair here. Join me if you can on that, but some type of kick variation if you need more chair support. So let's go into that in 3, 2, 1. Okay, see how the opposite sides of my body work together? When I'm kicking with the left leg, the right arm comes up. When I'm kicking with the right leg, left arm comes up. The opposite sides of our body often working together. We're getting some good kicks in, still breathing deeply, still thinking about our posture, still mindful of our whole body. Let's work this for 10, everybody. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Next up, out of a deep squat, a good wide out squat is going to be our good morning yawn. So we'll get down into a nice squat stance, palms coming in front of the face, reaching up overhead. Same thing as that first movement, developing the flow, getting a nice circular flow as the movement feels more and more comfortable. Let's jump into that with a good wide out squat. Hips engaged, glutes engaged, quads engaged, involved in this whole movement. Let's go into the good morning movement in 3, 2, 1. Feel the flow, a nice circular flow at the shoulders, at the elbows, at the wrists. Feel the energy going out to the fingers. Wiggle your fingers throughout the movement. Feel the full stretch. Pause in 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Next up, in 20 seconds, will be a squat hold. We're going to raise our arms directly in front of ourselves, drop down to a good quarter, maybe close to a halfway squat. It does not need to be super deep. Good posture, good back, good solid flat back, chest still out. Going down to a nice squat with the arms overhead. We're going to hold that for 40 seconds or as long as you can. If you need that chair in front of you, good place to be is behind the chair. We can always reach out and grab that if we need to. But let's start off by extending your arms directly overhead, holding them nice and tall. Drop down into a squat, however low you could get. And now we're holding this for 40 together. We're starting, we're into it, holding this together for 40. Reps are certainly difficult, doing a lot of reps, doing holds, what are called isometric holds, poses, very difficult as well. Different kind of challenging. We're about halfway there. Try to stick with me for the next 20 seconds. Arms still staying overhead. Squat fully engaged. We'll pause in 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Returning to center. That's a challenging move. It's almost easier to do squats just for the 40 seconds than to hold the one. I love to work in those isometric holds, those poses, very much inspired by yoga in a lot of ways into my workouts. Next up is going to be our alternating overhead press. Same thing as the sitting version. We won't do the squat out, the wide out squat. We've been doing a lot of squatting. Give those quads a break and just concentrate on a good upright posture. We're going to do this by getting our arms overhead and then that alternating overhead press. Remember, we're pushing the weight up. We're not pulling down on this. These are not pull downs. These are overhead presses, press ups. So let's go up top in 3, 2, 1. Good overhead press. Again, emphasizing that mind-muscle connection. Really imagine pushing a weight up, pushing something above overhead. Trying to get something on the top shelf in our kitchen, or maybe we're in the library. We're at Yonkers Public Library. We're reaching for a big book. We're putting that book back overhead. Working hard for 3, 2, 1. Excellent, guys. Next up will be our Superman pose, kind of a bird dog, similar to some yoga movements in a lot of ways. We're going to have the chair for support. Let's start off with our left leg or our left arm on the chair for support. We're going to kick. So you can see this. We're going to kick our right leg back. We're going to extend our arm up overhead. And then we're going to, as we extend, we're going to lean over. Good posture, flat, full extension into my arm and my legs. How far you bend over is how difficult the movement will become. So try to pick a pose that you think you could really hold for 40 seconds. If it's just here, if it's just right leg off the ground and arm up in the air, that's fine. And yeah, that's the movement. Sorry, so we're gonna actually do left arm and the left leg. I screwed that up. Left arm, left leg, right arm overhead. So the right arm's gonna be overhead, left leg extending. The opposite arm is working with the opposite leg. That's the key. Our left arm can be there for support. Sorry, let me just adjust my chair once more. Now we're good to get into it. So let's inhale, bring that right arm overhead, left arm's on the chair for support, left leg kick back, bend over to a good posture you think you could hold for 40 seconds. Let's hold this together for 40. Just a good pose hold, full extension of the arm, glutes engaged on my left leg. Deep breathing throughout, getting a little deeper into the stretch as I feel more confident. But as however deep you could get, that's where you want to be. Let's hold this for another 10. Deep, steady breathing. Chairs there for support. Push hard for 3, 2, 1. Excellent, guys. That's our Superman move. We'll do the opposite arm and leg the next time. So let's grab a quick little break here. We got one more moves round, and then we have our meditation. Little breathing break. Another round here, guys. Those 5 exercises. Then we'll go into our meditation. Good time to grab a drink of water, gather ourselves. But when you're ready, let's jump into it. We have kicks over the chair. You could always use that chair for support and kick from a supported chair position if you'd like. But let's get into this version together if you're with me and going in 3, 2, 1. Oh, sorry, there we go. Nice flow, nice rhythm on this. Working hard for 3, 2, 1. Excellent, guys. Next up is going to be our good morning yawn. We'll do that out of a nice squat position, engaging the glutes, the hips, the quads, pulling all of that full body exercise, good rhythmic flow, good circular flow, full extension, reach out fully overhead, out to the side, coming back in through the center. Let's go into that in 3, 2, 1. Excellent work, everybody. Working hard for another 10 seconds here. Three, 2, 1. Excellent work. Standing back up. Full posture. Next up, we have our squat hold. I'll just show you another angle on this. We're going to inhale, extend the arms overhead, fully overhead, dropping down into however much of a squat we can. If it's an eighth of a squat, if it's a quarter squat, wherever you could get to, that's fine. Trying to get into a good position that you can hold for that 40 seconds. Let's do this together. Jumping into it in 3, 2, 1. Inhale, arms overhead. Drop down into a squat. Gonna hold that nice squat there for 40 seconds. Deep, steady breathing throughout this, guys. Don't hold your breath. Steady breathing in through the nose, out of the mouth. Big smiles. Scanning the body as we go. Stick with me on this. Another 10 seconds here, everybody. Pause in 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Exhale, let the arms fall gently to the side. Excellent, tough movement there, holding that squat for 40 seconds. That's really going to get our legs, our core nice and strong. Little break, then we got alternating overhead press, and then our last Superman movement. Let's finish these off nice and strong. That alternating overhead press. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead, and then we're dropping one arm at a time and pushing that weight up, starting in 3, 2, 1. Arm comes down, push the weight up. Arm comes down, push the weight up. Again, imagine we're in Yonkers Public Library right now. We're reaching, we're pushing a big, heavy book up overhead. Get into a nice high shelf. Working hard for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. 20 seconds of rest, everybody. And then we have our last Superman. If you were with me last time, I had my left hand on the chair. So we're going to use our right hand for support right now, which means our right leg will be going back. Our left arm will be extending overhead. Again, just trying to get that right arm, that left arm and right leg off the ground to start. But as we can get to more of a bent over position, the movement gets tougher and tougher. Get to a good angle that you know you could hold for that 40 seconds. That's the hope. This is what we're going to finish off on. Good isometric hold. Right arm on the chair, right leg kick back. We'll start with an inhale, arm overhead in 3, 2, 1. So inhale, arm overhead, going into a good posture we think we can hold, using that chair for support, and we're going at this for 40 seconds. Full extension of the arm. That right leg glute is engaged, squeezing that leg up, trying to get that leg nice and straight. Full engagement of the body. Engage the shoulder muscles on that left side, the back muscles, the right leg glute and hamstring. Everything's engaged, everything's involved. Deep breathing. Holding that breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Exhale, let the arm fall to the side. Return to a center facing position. I'm going to adjust my camera once more. I'd invite you to return to your chair for a meditation. Good time to grab a drink of water. Great work today, everybody. Some good movements in there. We started off with the body scan. We carried our mindfulness forward throughout the exercise, paying attention to our body, how it feels, how it reacted to different movements, how it was affected by those movements. And now for our meditation, we'll do quite the same thing with our heart, with our mind, with our emotions, our spiritual life, whatever term you might put to it. And what we do with this meditation, one of my favorites, something I practice very naturally and intuitively all the time, is highs, lows, and hopes, a review of what's already happened. It's very easy to think that the given state of things in my life right now, whatever it is, my emotional life, how I'm feeling, how I connect and relate to other people, is just obvious, and it's the way it is. But everything has come into existence and moved out of existence, has come into being and moved out of being. And we could pay attention to that, and we could see it happen, and we could notice it. And in noticing it, we could come to understand it more. And in understanding it more, we'll hopefully be less controlled or manipulated by those movements of what we might call the spirit of our heart, whatever it is. So we'll take this period of meditation to look back at our last day, and we'll look at the high periods, the low periods, and noticing that, what's our hope moving forward? How did I get to where I am right now? How am I moving forward? We could do this in small ways throughout our day. We could look at an hour of time. We could look at a day of time, a year, whatever it might be. Simple structure. How did I arrive where I am? How did I get here? Where am I going? So I invite you to find a good contemplative posture. If you have a posture you like, cross-legged, whatever it might be, I definitely encourage you to assume that. But if not, good starting position is just feet flat on the floor, sitting upright and alert. Our palms and our hands can be resting gently on our thighs or in our lap. We don't want limbs crossed or choked up in a way that's uncomfortable. We want to be breathing steadily, Consciously slowing that breathing down. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold that breath for a moment. And then exhale calmly out of your mouth. Then I would invite you to bring to mind the last day of your life. Wherever that sort of begins and ends for you. It's no particular bound or timeline I want you to think about, but just more or less the last day. And I just want you to notice and let come to mind the high moments of your day, the moments where you felt closest to yourself, where you felt yourself to be the most true version of yourself. There's no right or wrong answer, but just looking at your day, notice what comes to mind for the highs yesterday. Could be simple and small, a good cup of coffee, a good interaction with a friend, or it could be big. Just take time to notice and savor those experiences. Look at all the details you could remember about them. And savor that moment. And continuing to breathe in deeply through your nose, resting in this space of quiet and peace. I'd invite you to notice any lows from yesterday, any moments or spaces where you were not fully yourself, did not feel close to yourself, felt alienated or distant. That's okay, there's no judgment here. We all fall into those states, but we just notice it, see why it might have happened, see what it led to it, why we might have been pulled away from our space of peace and clarity. And again, just look at those moments with compassion and mercy and love. Notice them and sit with them for a few moments. Continuing to breathe in deeply through your nose, holding the breath for a moment, and exhaling out of your mouth. And then noticing those two different pieces so far, the highs and the lows. Consider what you hope for your next day to look like. Just become aware of that, carry it with you, notice it. How do you hope to be tomorrow? And then when you're ready, you could gently open your eyes and begin to return to full awareness in this room. You can gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch out gently if you need to. And just finish with an awareness of how do you feel now? We started off with a little body scan. How do you feel at the end of this experience? How do you feel after looking at your day? Does it maybe put it more into context? Is it more mysterious? Is it more unclear? That's okay too. Just noticing, that's where much of the spiritual, meditative, contemplative life starts. Just noticing what's going on in yourself, in the world around you, in the people around you, and living as a person of hope and joy out of that. And so I hope you have a hopeful and joyful Wednesday. Thanks for coming by. It's always a joy to be with you, and I hope to see you soon.
Hi, everyone. This is Z from Yonkers Public Library. Thanks so much to Sally Pinto and Alexis and Barbara from Newark. Thank you to our community partners, WJCS, the City of Yonkers Office for the Aging, Westchester County Legislator Ruth Walter, Friends of Crestwood Library, and Yonkers Public Library for making this phenomenal partnership. And we thank each and every one of you for being part of our wellness community. Be well, stay well.